Warranty, fan4racing 250 here at ISM Raceway. Another great episode for the Outlaw Racing League. You got Mills up in the booth tonight. I got Puddin along with me. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Mills, I'm always doing great. Great to be back in the booth with you. It's always been fun racing or watching you guys race and broadcast in the Giggity Racing League. It's going to be exciting to watch these guys tonight.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure to have you along. Glad you could join. And
Appreciate it.
I tell you what, we're in for a treat tonight. We are heading out west to the desert, ISM Raceway.
There's numerous different lines that you can take out here, and with as we know, they changed the start-finish line. What would be a strategy if you were in this league, Mills? What would be your thoughts about this track? It's definitely a driver's track. A little bit of brake here and a lot of throttle here, but there's a lot of finesse.
It is. It's one of those delicate balance tracks, especially on that throttle. You got to be gentle as you're trying to get the power down tonight. And another thing I noticed while these guys were practicing was the tire wear was fairly significant. So that'll be something to make it interesting and keep an eye on tonight.
Yeah, tire wear has always been a factor out there too, and I think throttle control is going to be a big issue too. But with the caliber of drivers we have here, like we see in Giggity Racing League, it shouldn't be an issue for these guys. They race with each other all the time, and they'll be familiar with the track.
Oh, absolutely. These guys are among the best of the best that you'll find on Heat 4, and it's so exciting to watch these guys go at it. So really looking forward to this tonight.
I'm excited, and I appreciate you guys having me over. You know, it's always going to be interesting to watch everybody and learn too. And some of the best out there. It's definitely going to be entertaining, Mills.
Oh, it is. It's going to be tight. I had the pleasure of running one warm-up race with these guys, and they're running inches apart from each other without touching. It's just great close quarters racing.
That takes talent to be able to do that, and a lot of trust. Trust is a big factor that you're going to have too, you know, and these guys have to with each other. I think excitement is going to be a word that we're going to be bringing up tonight. Strategy, you said it with tire wear. There's going to be numerous different factors. It's going to be a great racing.
Absolutely. Taking a peek at the good old daily leaderboard here. And Smoke Fan runs in this league. He's got second place on there right now with a 25.423. And it's your bro Chase hot on his tail in third with a 25.496. So believe me, those are some quick lap times, folks. A lot of names on there. Jason's on there.
I like how they're able to do that. So you know, look up and see who's leading where and everything. Like you said, Smoke Fan, Jason's up there. Those are pretty quick times, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
That's almost a second faster than me, and that's not saying much since I'm not super fast. But looking at that, that gives me something to strive for.
Not too sure how this one. That's got to be a mistake of some sort. Looking at the all-time right now, the greatness with a 21.881. Which is about 3 seconds faster than anybody else on that list. So not sure what happened there.
Maybe you set that car up for a one-lap blitz, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think NASCAR better have a good look at that spoiler when it comes back to pit road. But, anyways.
I was trying to participate in the World Challenge at the Canadian Motorsports Park. I don't understand how some of those guys are running in the two teens there, you know, and I'm in the 220s, like 220 even, you know, and I thought that was fast till I saw that leaderboard. But let's see what these boys got for us tonight at ISM, Mills.
Absolutely, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So the boys are probably getting strapped into the cars right now. They're going qualifying here right quick. We're going to have pre-race interviews with 3 of our drivers racing tonight. It'll be Hangman, Jason, and Dagger going to be joining us up in the booth. Have a little chit-chat and see what their thoughts are heading into tonight.
It's going to be exciting to pick the brain of some of the other people that you don't get to normally talk to. You know, and Giggity, you know, Mills, we got Toco and Trout and Wicked Plant. We know those names. So for us tonight, it'll be exciting to see some new names and how fast they can go too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But once you get into online league racing like this, it's never a dull opportunity. These leagues are taken seriously, and they're taken seriously by their administrators and their drivers. So if you ever have the opportunity to participate in one like the Giddy Racing League, also Mills, like you do too, take that chance, see what your status is. See what your goods are compared to everybody else. Because if you can get invited to one of these leagues, there's numerous ones out there, getting that top tier level. Who's to say that you can't advance a little bit further?
Absolutely, and all you can do is put the time in. You're bound to get noticed somewhere. You get picked up, you start running a league, and then when you get to the Outlaw Racing League, you've made it.
Exactly. Yes. There is I've yet to had the honor to broadcast, and the opportunity tonight is fantastic. But in pre-race chatter with you and a couple other people, some of these drivers are the elite of the elite of the elite.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this will be the third race I've called for Outlaw now, and the first two were really exciting. One at Kansas and one at where was the other one? Kansas and Atlanta. And Kansas was really exciting.
Oh, I can imagine too, that high line being fast, but being able to make that lower middle line still work for passing. That's a great track, great opportunity. You get to certain tracks like Darlington, for example, passing is a little bit more difficult. But ISM, there's good opportunities here.
Just got an update from one of our drivers there that qualifying is almost complete. So we'll have our starting order shortly. Thank you, Dagger. Appreciate the heads up.
Again, this is my first Outlaw race for broadcasting. You said you've done this a couple times. Every driver is here for a reason, but is there a couple that stick out in your mind that you want to see win that might be like a black horse, and is there a couple drivers out there that are pretty dominant in your eyes?
You'll believe it when you see it. This field is very, very tight. Each driver is extremely competitive, and it's unreal how fast these guys are.
On custom setups too, correct? So that means
custom setups, yeah.
It takes more than 15 minutes to set one of these cars up. I mean, anywhere from days to weeks to get one car particularly set up at any particular track. So the dedication that these drivers are involved in this is a great deal too. It's awesome to see that.
Absolutely. Believe me, it's my goal to wind up in this league one day. One day, hopes and dreams.
I've had the opportunity to call some races with you, Mills, and I've had the opportunity to call a couple of your races, and by no means are you slow. You are a great driver in your own right, and it won't be too far in the future to see you up here.
Yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I thought I was quick too until I got on the track with these guys today. So we'll see. And sometimes when you're sitting back and you're calling these races, man, you're happy to be in the booth. You don't want to be in the car.
Right. But like you said, you got the chance to drive with some of these drivers. The only way you can get faster, and I've learned this from my professional racing career in real life, is to race with the best. Some of these guys see a car hauler pull in, and they see Scott Bloomquist pull in, for example, and they're like, oh, crap. No, that should be an opportunity. Go out, follow him in hot laps, follow him in practice, And same thing in the Outlaw Racing League tonight. If you got the chance to race with these guys, they can only make you faster if you're dedicated enough.
Yep, for sure. And the one driver in it tonight, it's your bro Chase. I've had the opportunity to race with him a fair amount in the past, and yeah, I mean, if I was not supposed to be unbiased up here in the booth, I'd have to be going with him tonight. He's a lot of fun to race with, and I was side by side with him for a little bit earlier today here at ISM until he grabbed another gear and drove away.
Yeah, you can only get better by racing people who are better than you, you know, and I don't mean that as an insult to anybody out there. It's just there's people out there that I'm a little bit quicker than, and then there's people out there who are a lot quicker than me, and I'd rather race with those people who are quicker than me. You learn from them, and everything that we, especially in the Giggity Racing League, everybody there is so helpful. You know, I think that's why everybody's so fast. It helps set up cars or sliders or lines. Do you think a lot of that transitions over into the Outlaw League? These guys helping each other out, you know, the companionship?
I would have to say so. I would assume so. You know, I don't know these guys overly well, or as well as I would like to, but yeah, they definitely seem like they all joke with each other and have a good time. And yeah, there's a little bit of companionship and help from one driver to another, but at the same time, I can definitely sense that everybody in here is extremely competitive, and I'm sure every driver is keeping his own little secret for himself.
Yeah, you help each other off the track, but when it comes down to bronze tacks and bronze air medals, you know, everybody's on that tall, loud, skinny pedal for themselves, and on the racetrack it's dog eat dog, but in the pits, you know, it's cool to see that too and hear that also.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once again, thanks again for having me, Mills. Normally I do get to commentate and broadcast for the Giggity Racing League, and the opportunity to expand my horizons tonight. And then, like I said, you and I have been in the booth quite a few times, and be able to talk with somebody I like talking to who has got great input on everything too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think you do a great job too, Puddin', and like I said, man, you're gonna enjoy tonight. Believe me.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
this is gonna be
excited.
good.
I got a couple adult beverages already popped in front of me. My dog's laying next to me, and you know, when you ain't got a real cup race to watch, some of these races you see here are even better than the real cup races you see on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. You know, some of these races are just as good, man, and it gets intense and exciting.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch tonight. I think you might see a little bit of strategy getting played with these guys, you know, saving a little bit of their tires or fuel and trying to go that extra little bit. Tires is definitely going to be the bottleneck tonight. You're going to hit tire issues before fuel issues. So really it's about running your car fast enough to get where you need to go first, but without burning the tires off the thing. So.
And with custom setups too, you know, you have to assume that a lot of these drivers do set their car up to run that long run. But with custom setups too, if you make a wrong turn here, one click there, tire pressure, a wedge, a tape or something, it could not only throw the balance and handling off, but just choose those tires up. You might be great for 8 laps, but when you need to be great for 28 laps, that's a difference. And again, that's the let's see how these guys set their cars up for tonight.
Yep, for sure. And generally speaking, here at ISM, the car's going to get looser as the run goes on. So I think we are going to see some comers and goers. Like, from a driver standpoint, yeah, you want a car that's going to last the whole run, but sometimes it doesn't always happen. You know, sometimes your car's fast at the beginning of the run, sometimes it comes in towards the end, but you know, the guy who can get it balanced throughout the entire run is going to be the one we're talking with at the end of the race in victory lane.
And like you said, the balance of the car too. And as those tires wear away, who can feather that throttle? Who can, you know, not yank that wheel a lot and maintain those the looser conditions with wore-out tires? You know, the skill level and capability comes in there too. And we're about to find out. It's about time to put that green flag down. I'm excited.
Okay, looks like qualifying is over. Invites are going out. Staying tuned.
And ISM, man, it's one of it's not your typical racetrack. You know, you see a lot of these quote unquote cookie cutter tracks. Yes, they have different surfaces and different banking, I think that's what makes ISM so exciting. It's not your typical cookie cutter track. It's more of a flat track. The corners have different turning angles on them. You can take that shortcut per se, and through the newly relocated start finish line. So there's going to be a lot of different angles played at this track too. And the yellow line doesn't seem to come into a play quite a bit too, which would be the new turn after the finish line. You know, a lot of people can cut that corner down too if you need to. Higher side, you maintain speed, but a lot of different cards to be played here, Mills.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to confirm if we are good to go or not. And I think we'll be getting right to the action right quick here. Sounds like we're going to save the interviews for the end of the race.
Mills, do you have any information on how the race is being raced tonight? Percentage, damage, cautions, stages?
We are going 100% tonight, so I believe it's 100. We're going 250 miles.
Again, thanks for everybody out there following and listening. I apologize. I am new to the Outlaw League here. I'm just trying to get myself familiar and get you guys familiar also with how they run everything here.
Got our invites, folks. We're just waiting here. Trying to pull Bulldog's chat up right now, or his live stream, see where we're at. But okay, we're going blue screen for a second, everybody. Puddin', you got an invite to the lobby?
Not quite this second.
Okay, I will send you one right now. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Loading in, everybody.
What are your guys' thoughts and opinion on this being the track for the championship race next year? You know, moving it from Homestead, a little bit different setup.
I think it'll be exciting. I don't think anybody will forget the Ryan Newman, Kyle Larson incident on the last lap in 2014 for Newman to punch his ticket. So, I mean, it's definitely a track capable. And, yeah, here we go. Green flag's in the air, and we are off racing. Smoke fan up the track there. He drops back to third.
Look at these guys driving in hard. They're going 2-3 curves. There's 2 or 3 different lines we're already seeing what Junior's talking about.
Yeah, fan out going through the dog leg. Isn't that incredible? 3-4 wide.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan. I know it does cut a couple seconds off, but I feel that you get a better entry angle going into the next corner by doing that. You know, everybody's different though.
We got Bulldog driving the 3 car. He's got his Chevrolet out front.
Pretty cool paint scheme on the 95 tonight, but of the Chizukai car. He's looking really good. We got number 32 diving on the inside of him, and the 42 making a move with him, Mills.
Yeah, he's going to clear him too. I think the bottom is definitely your preferred line around this place. But there is speed on the top side. It's definitely not a single groove racetrack. You can pass here.
Looks like a car got into the wall and spun out there in the back. I don't know if it's game cautious or strict cautious. We'll see how that plays out. But Unfortunately, one guy in the car in the back right there, the blue car spun out. As we see him still fanning out, going down the quote-unquote backstretch, I guess would be going into turn 4 since they moved the straightaway or the start-finish line. That's a great paint scheme on Bulldog tonight too, in that number 3 car as we see him pulling out a little bit. You know, wanting to be clean, but can't take your eye off that rear view mirror, which you don't want to drive out of.
Okay, sorry, update on the race length. We are going 50%. Stages are on. Wear is at ×4 and damage is on. Sorry,
Stages at ×4. That's a great opportunity for these guys. You know, we're definitely going to see some green flag pit stops, but the stages will give those guys who might have made a mistake a chance to root back up their Mills.
Sorry, ×3. ×3 on the wear.
×3. That's still a great amount, though. You know,
that is.
And at a track that you brought up earlier pre-race, it just eats these tires like Cookie Monster eats Oreos. So. Let's see how this plays out, but it's already a great race, and I'm sitting on the edge of my couch already.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning.
Looks like Bulldog's still up front. DK Brown back here in that 32 car in 3rd place. He's making a move on that 41 car as they come down through that inner loop right there. Shows the nose. He shows them a nose, but he pulled back up in position. 42 looked like he had a great drive right there. Republican, I had an opportunity to race with him, a really great fast guy. He's in that number 8 car.
I tell you, Dagger just cut the 32 at DK Brown. He just cut him some slack right there. Early in the race, give and take.
Especially with stages, yeah, you don't want to push too hard, but you do want to let your presence speed known, you know. You want that clean air. The harder you drive somebody else, there's less opportunity. It makes it less hard to drive up front or get to the front.
Battle shaping up for the lead. Trying to get
He's going to start to fan out a little bit, Mills.
A little bit. That'll happen. These guys are going to get strung out, but like I said in pre-race, it's going to be an episode of comers and goers here, and you see Bulldog's car looks like it's going away from him a little bit. Ooh, Smoke Fan hits the wall right there. The Smoke Fan's car is coming in. We're going to see that all night long.
They all like to take that cut on that inner loop. Looks like number 3 brother, the Bulldog right there, he's coming back up. Smoke Fan in that 41 car got a great drive coming up that corner. Great entry angle move.
I tell you one thing that's
those too, where people are trying to. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but they're cutting that yellow line. This is one of the tracks where the yellow line's not into place. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. And you're right. You can go anywhere you want to go here. Anywhere that you think is fast and you want to put your car, by all means. There's one thing I will say, you have to be so careful. Probably, oh, Smoke Fan hard in the wall. You have to be so careful cutting turn, I gotta think now, turn 2, because you run the risk of hitting that commitment cone and coming to pit road. And it's so easy to do here. It's not a foot below that yellow line. Right there.
Great point too. This is one of the harder pit lanes to get onto under green flags coming off that corner.
It is. You definitely gotta not get ran over. Easier said than done sometimes. DK Brown, he's reeling Smoke Fan in. We're gonna have a battle for the lead here right quick.
I just switched over to Nick 23 South 57 in the 88 car. He hit the apron and loops it by himself back here. Does not appear to bring out a yellow flag, but unfortunate circumstance. Again, we talked about it earlier. He's just got some damage too. Those stages are on. Maintain. Just don't go a lap down. It's easy to do that on pit lane here. You know, regroup, regather yourself, and get that opportunity. And once that green stage flag comes out, you'll be right there, group back up with everybody.
Yeah. Ooh yeah, 88 of Nick. He's got heavy damage to the front end of his race car. He's going to have to get that fixed up on his first stop.
It's kind of one of those paint schemes I've never seen before. Maybe be newer, and I haven't paid attention. But the 95 Chiesa, that's a cool paint scheme of the Benedetto car that he's driving.
Here, we're watching him right now.
And he's looking very fast also. Again, racing with a couple other people, but not pushing the issue. Just getting that line, get your groove of rhythm. We talked about that on quite a few tracks. I feel rhythm, especially at ISM, is very important.
Absolutely. You know, where they are right now on the racetrack is absolutely critical. You got to get the throttle down, exit at turn 2. Yeah, here we go. That didn't take long, did it?
Out of 3 times tire wear, and some people's strategies stay out, you know, see if you can get that lap. And other people's strategies pit with the leader so you don't lose that lap. It just all depends. See how this pans out for him, though. Yeah, it's not a surprise to see green flag stop at 3-time wear already.
Yeah, our leader, Smoketown, he's on pit road. He's got DK and Toco right behind him. They're coming in for 4 fresh fuel goods.
That's right, 4 fresh use and a couple. Yep, I was just gonna say 4 fresh use and a couple cans of go-go juice. Now with custom setups, these guys have to be super happy with their car. Do you think small adjustments will be made through whether it be tape, wedge, or tire pressure throughout, or do you think a lot of these guys with their custom setups are gonna be happy with it?
Yeah, I think it'll be very, very small adjustments as we go throughout the course of the race. Believe me, these guys have put the time and the hours into these setups to make them quick. I bet you they're probably pretty happy with the race car. I haven't seen anybody get crazy squirrely or losing it yet, so looking good. That 88 car is definitely off the pace.
So it's unfortunate to see, but like I said, as long as you can maintain, 1 lap's alright, as long as you're that first lap car down, you can get that back. But, you know, you really just try to avoid that circumstance at all costs. You know, that's one less stress on your shoulders for the race.
I like that.
Oh, Republican. I'm watching Republican. Looks like he went to try to get to pit lane, locked him up right there, got a little squirrely, missed pit lane. I don't know if that was trying to go to pit lane or if that was just a mistake in that corner, but that was a big mistake by Republican. That's a very rare mistake to see from these guys tonight.
Riding along with Jason right now. I love that paint scheme. The carbon fiber number 4 car. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I wish I was fortunate enough to be a reciprocant of one of those, what do they call it, the Car to Can series with Kevin Harvick. We just took a tour of the Anheuser-Busch factory a couple weeks ago in St. Louis. They had one of those cans on display. That's an awesome car to see. I wish I could have one of those Busch cans just for my beer collection.
Looks like the 95 of Cheese got out ahead of Smoketown. Get our bearings here.
Got Rolling Duck here in the 31. He's looking really smooth. He's got another car. It looks like the 8 of Republican right behind him too. It's not a person you want in your rear. Republican stays high as Rolling Duck takes that inner loop cut.
DK Brown just made a pass for the lead. He got around the 42. Jagger, he's up front. Ooh, Cheese is right there with him though.
Hey man, representing the 24 car tonight, he's looking very smooth as we click through the field here, Mills.
Hangman.
Another cool paint scheme tonight is the Clint Boyer car, and that's It's Your Boy Chase. I like that paint scheme of the Toco, the 14. He's looking pretty fast and pretty consistent. Has a little hood crinkle, no front end damage, should be no harm, no foul. Aero damage is not a big factor here, but you don't want massive damage because it will affect the handling of your car in these tight turn hills.
Yeah, it sure will. That good battle for the lead here, side by side. 32 DK Brown and 95 Cheese. Cheese gonna throw it in. Oh, looks like he overdrove a little bit. Great
we got
driving.
A slow car to the inside. 48 appears to be going to the pits, but yeah, here comes Smoke Fan right behind these guys. It's just giving Smoke the opportunity to catch him. Oh, jeez, it hits the wall. Smoke makes that inside dive on him. Looks like he's going for that 32, and they'll cut that in. What do you see, Mills?
I see great racing. Great racing. 3 wide here in turn 1.
It's so hard to want to participate in a league when you have the opportunity to be in the broadcast booth, because again, I get more excitement up here just watching whether it be the Outlaw League or the Giggity Racing League or the, I unfortunately got DC'd in a little league that we run on, we don't call it league, but a little group to get together, on Wednesday nights. It's almost more fun to watch as we see Cheezer makes the inside of Spoke and Doug Puck right there in that 32 and that Mustang.
Oh, there's contact, more contact.
3 wide, 3 wide.
Oh, DK's in the wall.
Good.
Daggers in the wall.
Good. Not good, but 41 is still holding on the outside. That Smoke Fan right there on the outside of Cheezus. Cheezus still holding him off by a car or two. That unfortunate for that 32 car. No yellow flag, but it is kind of hard to go 3 wide, because we've all done it, and it's not a good situation.
It's not, and especially coming off of turn 2 here, the car tightens up so much, it gets so narrow.
Personally, what's one of your most difficult quarters here? For me, I would have to call it, used to be turn 1, now turn 4, right before you come to that start-finish line, that inner loop, because your braking point and your entry angle right there. I think that's one of the most difficult corners. Nils, what do you think it is for you and some of these guys?
Both ends of this racetrack are not easy to drive. It's hard to pick which one's more difficult. To tell you the honest truth, probably turn 3 would be, to get the braking point right, get the car rotated and not lose speed is probably the hardest part of this racetrack.
That's why I love broadcasting with you. You bring up so many great points, Mills. You just said rotation. Car rotation here is important. They're not sliders tonight. They are in custom cars. So to figure out, like you said, the hours, the days, if not weeks, it takes in to get one car right at one track so you can get it to rotate, get it to grip, get it to accelerate. These guys are very dedicated.
Absolutely.
41 of Smoke Fans still up front. Jesus right there. It looks like we've got the 11 car behind him.
Beast. First time we've seen Beast up front all night. Not that the night's been very long yet, but he's going in the right direction for sure. He's challenging Cheese for second place. They're going to be side by side heading into turn 1. Oh, Cheese dives it in pretty hard.
I think that's, with the tire wear being where it's set at, that those green flag stops, they give you that opportunity to see where you're happy and unhappy with, and like you said, those minor adjustments. I mean, it doesn't take much, as we all know. One minor adjustment here or there can make your car go from fast to grease lightning on a long run, or slow it down and it looks like you're tied to a freaking boat anchor. Excuse me, Mills.
It's all good. It happens. We're only human.
But this racing is great. Jesus up there, he gets a little loose. Smoke Fan still pulling away from him. The 11 car makes a dive on the inside of the 95. Jesus.
Good battle right there, but as they're doing that side by side, Smoke Fan is pulling away in F14.
We see Dagger back here in the 42 car. And he's running that nice, clean, low line, very smooth, and he's pulling up right behind that 10 car of the red, white, blue, the Outlaw race car. He's looking really good too. 42 to the inside of 10, 10's on the inside of 32, 47. There's going 2 and 3 wide back here. They're not giving up any inch for any position. They're giving it all they got tonight, Mills.
You are correct.
If somebody gives you that inch, you've got to take that mile. It doesn't matter what track you're on. And these celebrity drivers know, stage points and points for everything value, and they matter. You want everything you can get. Oh! As I watch, the 10 of Galen right there gets into the back, hard into the wall, heavy front end damage. Does not appear to be a caution. 2 cars go around him on the outside, though. Unfortunate mistake for Galen, 72 in the 10 car. 24 hits the pit wall entrance right there. I couldn't tell if he was trying to go in the pits or if that was a mistake. We're starting to see these tire wear back, you know, start to fade off a little bit,
Yeah,
Mills.
I think that was our stage right there. Stage 1 in the books.
There was certainly no lack of intensity for of any driver at any position there. Everybody wants everything they get. The Outlaw Racing League is awesome, just like what we see in the GRL at the Gaiety Racing League.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Never a dull race here at Outlaw. Yeah, 95 and the 41 there. They put themselves a pretty good gap between themselves and back to third place there, that pack of cars we were watching. So they're definitely fast on the long run. We'll have to see what stage 2 brings.
This gives everybody an opportunity to go in, make those adjustments. We talked about damage. If you have it, definitely get that fixed. You might fall back, but group back up, and you're right back in for stage 2, Mills.
All I care about is them 4 fresh tires on my car.
I agree. I was racing a little bit earlier with somebody, and we were in a lobby that seemed to be a cautions breed cautions type of lobby, and even though I was down to 99% on tires, knowing I had an extra 10 laps to go, I want that extra 1% back. Give me those tires. That 1% makes a difference. As we regroup and go double file for the restart, looks like Spoke fans right there, 24's on the inside of them on the front row.
Along with Hangman, he leads us back to the green flag. He's got Smoke fan on his other side.
Yep, and Cheese is right there with him in that 95 car.
He's thinking
you
3
can get
wide.
The car to rotate.
He's thinking 3 wide. Oh, Cheese thought better of it at the last minute. He pulled back up. He's got 42, a dagger on his outside.
Here comes that tricky turn where you gotta hit that mark right, apply just enough brake, don't drift up that corner, don't want to hit anybody else as they all cut back through that dog leg. There's so many different angles that you can take that dog leg too, Mills, and it's interesting to see how many people go way down, and some people just cut it just enough, but still maintain, pull back up and get a good entry angle for the next turn.
Yeah, well, that's it. You hit the nail on the head. You know, if you cut too much off that dog leg, it'll mess your entry up going into turn 1. You got to balance how much you cut off.
Every track is different. Not a very high bank track, not a very, a very odd shaped track here at ISM in Phoenix. As we see everybody starting to go single file a little bit. Smoke fan 14's out front. Looks like Cheese got a little loose going on the inside. Right behind him, we got the 42s coming right behind him. Let's see how this pans out. Good to see Nick recover from his first stage right there. Nick in that 88 car is regrouped. He did it well.
Sorry to everybody watching into you, but the 14 is actually being driven by Bro Chase. The very similar 41 is being driven by Smoke Fan, who's out front right now.
I apologize. I'm sorry, Mills. I just get too intense sometimes. I get into it too much watching these guys. Watching Bulldog, he's in that 3 car, he's in that American flag car, making an inside dive on the inside of the 10. Nice and clean, they get close, but don't touch. They're going down that front stretch right there, going into the, well, I guess it'll be turn 4 for that dog leg at the start-finish line. Good mid-pack racing back here if we want that extra position when they can get it.
Oh, look at how hard Cheese is driving into that turn. See, but that's the cost of it right there. You saw it. You lose so much momentum when you drive it in hard like that, trying to get the car to rotate, that it's almost not worth it. You're better off to back the corner up, get the car rotated, and get the hammer down as soon as you can.
Following with Bulldog right here in that 3. Cheese makes a hard dive to the inside of him, but he just made a nice clean pass on the inside of that 10 car. 2 red, white, blue cars battling back out. We got a Chevy and a Ford going at it.
Big old slinky effect there going into turn number 3. Everybody bunched together. Galen in that 10, he's making a move to the inside of Bulldog here.
Bulldogs look real strong and real competitive tonight. He could be one to be watched, you know, but you can't take away from Gale. We got Mad Fast back here, and Mad Fast 43 and that 48 car. He's towards the rear, but he's been looking very consistent. Same thing with Dagger. He's been looking real fast in that 42 Mills.
You sure he's been up front all night long so far. Car's good, just got to keep it up front.
And patience too. Patience plays a virtue, and I'm assuming a lot of these guys in this league are going to be on wheels. You know, so it's a lot easier to drive on a wheel than it is on a controller. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple people on a controller, but majority of this field, I'd have to say I was on a wheel, and this is a great track to be on a wheel for. You can be a lot more consistent.
Absolutely. This is not a hold it hard over type of track. This is definitely a finesse track with the steering wheel. I couldn't imagine trying to do it with a controller here.
I don't have a wheel yet. I don't have that fortunate circumstance, but I'm telling you, one of my favorite tracks to drive, but very difficult to do on a controller. You got to do it right. As we see Galen phase back a little bit, he pulls back, and I don't know. He just got passed by quite a few cars. I think he just got a bad run there. As Cheese goes to the inside of him, and Cheese is back here a little bit further too. That's one of the front runners we've been seeing tonight, Mills.
For sure, he's trying to work his way back up towards the front. So he's got a ways to go. He's probably running 9th right now. I'm counting cars right? Yeah, 9th.
It's so hard to count some of these guys. You want to count back, but next thing you know, one corner later, here they are, 2-3 positions forward, if not 2-3 positions backwards. The competitive league of the Outlaw Racing online Heat 4 is pretty intense. And then, like I said, thanks for inviting me, because now I see why you guys watch this stuff. I can watch the Outlaw League just like Katie all night long.
Oh, absolutely. I'll never get bored.
There's great racing all throughout the track, and I don't think we've actually seen a caution yet. We have yet to see that dandelion flag out on there. That just tells you the capability of these drivers either. It's just green flag pit stops and a stage is what brought bunches back all up. As they go 2 and 3 wide back here, going down the front stretch with DK Brown and Bulldog right there in that 3.
Aggressive racing going through the dog leg. Bulldog's gonna give him a little push, just a little love tap, get him up the track.
I was just gonna say, Bulldog had one heck of a run on DK Brown in that 32. Oh, the 42 puts him there. Oh, that costs him a couple, but no harm, no foul too much. 42, 32, and the 3 car battling it out. That just gave the 24 an opportunity to pull right up in there. Republican's looking good too.
You know, we're getting to that point where it's probably getting towards the end of the run. Tires are going away, cars are getting looser. I think that's what we saw right there. We saw DK get a little bit squirrely off turn 2. He was trying to gather it back up, and he didn't mean to by any means. Just it happens. You get into another car and you wind up in the wall.
We've all been there. We've all done that. We've seen it happen. You get those tires loose. You know, sometimes even a 70% tire, you don't think that's down that much, but you know, 70% tire can feel like it's on ice compared to a 90 to 100% tire, obviously. As I see Jason, the number 4, Kevin Harvick, carbon fiber car, making a green flag stop.
Checking in on our leader right now, Smoke Fan in the 41. He's opened himself up probably a good 3-second lead. Back to second place, so he's in his own zip code right now. He just got it on cruise control. Oh, he's hitting pit road. Green flag pit stop cycling through.
Let's see how that pans out. Looks like the 42 and the 95 of Chiesa pulls in right behind him. You know, that's a great strategy by them. Stick with some of the fast guys, stick with the leader so you know where you're at when everything cycles back around.
42's on pit road, the 95's on pit road.
I used to have a strategy, you know, see those guys pit, and then depending upon what track, man, try to make a lap. See if you can get an extra lap or 2, put them a lap down, so when you go down the pit lane, they get their lap back, but you can still pull up in front of them. Sometimes the strategy works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll see how everything pans out. We're watching Bulldog in that 3 cut that dog leg right now. He stayed out as the leaders went to pit lane.
It looks like Smoke Fan got in and out of the pits cleaning there. He's going to maintain his sizable lead over second place there at 42. Dagger.
Bulldog made a very respectable move right there by going to pit lane, but he came into the apron way early to let everybody know he's down. He didn't come down. He wasn't low and then came down. He was on that apron coming in. Very respectable move, letting everybody know he's there. But we've seen number 3 on pit lane right now, Mills. Dagger in that 42. He's cutting that yellow line.
It's definitely an easy track to get yourself ran over at. You got to make sure that everybody knows that you're coming up pit road, which these guys do very well. They got their own Discord chat going. Everybody's in it. Everyone can talk to each other, hear each other. So communication, I'm sure, is quite good.
That's a great fact that you just brought up. I'll bring up your terminology. I'm watching Galen in that 10 come to pit lane with the 32. You hit the nail on the head. Communication's huge here. It's a video game. You can't stick your hand out the window and let everybody know, hey, I'm coming to pit lane. So if you say, hey, and let these guys know, less chance for you to get ran over and a chance for damage to be fixed. Plus, it gives everybody that opportunity to make their decisions at the same time on what they're going to do. This Outlaw Racing League is super, super intense. It's just as hardcore as what we see. Oh, it looks like the car got spun around right there. Obviously, no harm, no foul. I mean, it's no fault of their own because it was a computer-generated pit lane. But yeah, Galen the 32 got spun around by the 10 of Galen. He backs out, whips around, and they go. They pull out together, though.
Everybody's funneling back together as we come out of the pits. That'll get your attention when you come out and you're about 50 miles an hour slower than everybody else.
Yeah, that's definitely that cup of morning coffee for you. That's an eye-opener, isn't it?
Oh,
you
yes.
try to make that quarter and pull up on somebody and realize they're not going as fast as you are. You got to make that squadron leader's evasive maneuver.
Chase made a move to the inside of 24 Hangman. He's going to take that position away and he'll do it clean. Nice pass.
Looks like they're starting to single file out a little bit. Watching DK Brown and that 32 make a dive bomb on the inside of the 3 of Bulldog right there. But everybody's green flag stops. They all came out pretty smooth for the most part, Mills.
Looks like everyone got through that cycle clean and clear. No penalties. Doesn't look like anybody had too much damage they had to take care of. Good battle here between Bulldog and DK.
That's who I'm following. I'm on the DK right now, following 32, watching Bulldog on that 3 car on the inside. Appears to be one of the better battles that we have on the track right now, as everybody is single filed out after those pit stops. Just like if you guys want any opportunity, if you guys want to try yourself out, hit people up for the Giggity Racing League, get a nerd development series, and then work your way up. And who's to say you can't be one of these top-notch drivers in the Outlaw Racing League, working your way up? And then the Giggity Racing League is definitely no slouch. Get one, probably one of the top 5 online racing leagues out there, just like Outlaw, like Mills is.
Absolutely. And we've said it several times. These guys really are the cream of the crop, but they watch. I don't want to say the lower series, but these guys, they have their connections to the Giggity Racing League. It's a great place to start out. If you haven't done league racing before, get your feet wet, get your name out there, and if the stars align, you can find yourself in the Outlaw Racing League. Like I said before, hopes and dreams.
That's what the world's made off of, though, Mills, is hopes and dreams. If you don't have one, then you might as well not roll out of bed every morning. You got to keep moving on. And watch DK Brown. He is just motoring through this right here in this 32 car. High, low. He's trying to pass people anywhere, anyhow he can.
Looks like he's going to be making a move to the inside of the 11 car here. That's Beast. I believe that's a pass for 3rd place. Heating up for 5th behind them, too. They're side by side.
DK just drove it in real hard. Had a great drive, great entry angle, too. Pulls up, doesn't cut that dog leg too much, just cuts it just enough. And his Pierce, so we talked about earlier, he's got a great entry angle into the next corner. Great move by DK Brown right there.
I'm surprised. These guys are running a little bit higher up than what I would have expected in turns 1 and 2. They're up probably about 2 lanes or so, and they're making it work. Everybody's diamonding it coming off the corner, but you get a lot of momentum doing that. I guess it's the fast way around the racetrack.
Do you think that it has something to do with the tire wear, running a little bit higher, maybe trying to save a tire, or diving it off at the same time, depending upon how your custom setup is? It could wear your tire out. I mean, what do you think their thoughts are, Mills?
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be a tire save strategy for sure. The lower you run, the faster you're going to chew them up. So yeah, that's a great point, Puddin'.
Watching Beast in this 11 car, he's definitely making moves. He's settling in right behind the 32, trying to set himself up for another great pass. But like you just brought up, he's 2 lanes higher than that 32 right now. Different strategies, different lines, and we brought that up in the pre-race.
Got on board with Jason. He's about mid-pack right now. A lot of cars around him though. Well, Puddin', I think it's time for a cold one, buddy. If you'll excuse me, I'll be right back.
No problem, buddy. I'll cover you. I just went to the refrigerator and grabbed myself one, so while you do that, I'll hold on here. I'm watching It's Your Bro Chase in that 14 car, running real smooth. He's trying to catch Bulldog in the number 3 car. He's looking real fast tonight. We'll switch back. Smoke Fan's looking real clean. He's got himself a nice little lead, clean air, and maintaining himself. Back here with Nick on the 88 car, makes a small mistake there. He had an unfortunate first stage, but he still rebounded pretty well. She's in that 95 car too. He's looking pretty good. He was one of the front runners right there, and he's trying to get himself back up there. A lot of names, a lot of cars that can be competitive, and you still got one more stage. I think these guys are just feeling themselves out.
All right. I'm back. Grab a cold one, everybody. Settle in. Enjoy the race.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the greatest sounds in the entire world when you're watching a NASCAR race. Just a little shout out to my buddy Robbie Vids over there in the UK. His favorite thing to say is drinking beer, racing NASCAR is what he would say as we come to the stage interferes.
Yeah, I think that is stage 2 in the books.
All right, boys. It's coming down to it. You still got one more, if not 2 more pit stops. Mills, what do? What is your pit strategy to try to gain us extra positions to get back up front here?
I'd rather do my gaining on the racetrack. I think I want 4.
I'd rather start in the back and work my way to the front with 4. And I'm assuming these guys are going to take 4 freshies, 2 tanks of gas, and a glass of water if they had the chance, Very technical track, just like what Louis said. This is a thinking man's track. It's not Talladega, it's not Daytona. You got to do a little strategy in your own mind. And here we go. It looks like Smoke Fan right there in 41 and 42 Dagger up front. And they are cutting that dog leg low, Mills.
Oh, yes. You got to protect that bottom on these restarts. The lower the better.
It is, but cutting that dog leg, knowing that you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars above you. Like I said, I'd rather have the entry angle than to cut the track there.
Smoke Fan is picking up right where he left off. He's already pulled out to probably about a 10-car length lead over second place. There's DK in second, Dagger running third right now, and Bulldog in 4th. Oh, we got trouble in the back of the pack. 3, 4, 5 cars involved. Hard contact, and I'm sure that will bring out the caution.
Sorry, Mills. Somebody's going to say it. Big wreck, big wreck. We're all tired of hearing it, big, but there it is, big wreck. And it does not appear to bring out the yellow.
Yeah, it's out. So the Outlaw Racing League, they do manual cautions. So what I saw right there, they race back to the line, and then they'll line it up, get the pit stops out of the way, and then we'll restart. So.
And that's awesome. These guys respect the fact of that, you know, to bring out that manual caution. A lot of places or a lot of leagues don't do that. A lot of lobbies won't do that. It is kind of difficult to pull off a well-placed manual caution. So to see these guys pull it off and do it successful, that's pretty awesome to see that. Again, there's that mutual respect we talked about, Nelson.
Absolutely.
And it looks like Nick's going to get it. Yep, he's getting his lap back. I'm following him right now. He says, "Give me that thing back. I want a chance at this."
Now it'll be interesting to see if we're going to have takers on pit road or if people are going to stay out. Well, it looks like everyone's pretty much coming to get 4.
They're taking your philosophy. 4 good tires, man.
Every time. Every time.
Every time. Yep. Anytime and every time. I mean, even if you wore it down 1%, that 1% is the difference. Can make a difference in the long run. Oh, we do have one person staying out.
Yeah,
and that appears to be the 48 car of Bad Fast.
He's playing a little strategy. See, they weren't under green for very long. See how his car holds up.
Yeah, he's trying for definitely for some positioning, knowing that we will have to have at least one more green flag stop, at least in my opinion, with 3 times tire wear. Maybe he's trying something new. Or not new, but let's see how this pans out for him, because everybody else is going in. Mills, thanks again while we're under caution. I can appreciate you guys and Smoke and TK Daddy for helping represent me a little bit, or at least give me the opportunity. And it's been a couple weeks since I've been in the booth with you, but it's always a pleasure, especially under new circumstances for the Outlaw Racing again. Great time.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have you along. Glad to have you along. Thank you for all you do, man.
When you're stuck in Washington, D.C. right now and it's cold weather, I'd rather be watching NASCAR, drinking beers.
Yeah, there you go.
Especially these guys, man. Here they are. They're pulling back up. Looks like they're getting they're gonna pull themselves back up into a nice manual caution style 2x2. And it looks like, of all things, Galen, that 10 car, he had a heck of a pit stop. Good for him to be back up there.
So we're gonna take one more lap here, guys, and then we'll turn them loose. But yeah, no, back to the topic of Washington D.C. and cold. Broadcast is actually coming to everybody tonight from Canada, Calgary, Canada.
Oh, so you got cold and snow up there. We just got cold weather.
It snowed a foot today.
See, that's one thing. And we'll bring this back up later. Every 13 weeks, I'm in a new state or a new city, even because of my wife's job. She's a travel nurse. So we went from East Coast beach cities to St. Louis to here we are in DC, and it's great to have opportunities and be able to hang out with friends like you guys online to keep my mind off of this crappy weather. If we're coming back to that green weather, here we go. Galen's bringing them down. Or Bad Fast in that 48, excuse me.
There's too many cars in the field.
A foot of snow, man. I can't. So does the Pinty's NASCAR series, do they have ice tires for the spring races?
They might have to bring the jet dryers out for sure.
One thing I don't miss as a professional motorcycle racer, as much as I enjoyed doing it, I loved ice racing, but I could not stand that cold weather. It only made it even colder when you're doing 100 miles an hour on Buckeye Lake in the great state of Ohio. And 93 of Chiza, or 95 of Chiza, making an inside move on Bad Fast right now, Mills.
He's digging. Bad Fast, he's holding up. I'm surprised
living up to that name.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, the 4 car looking to join the prize. Jason.
Oh, a couple cars brushed that wall. Then we got Bad Fast right here in that 48, still making a dive on the inside, like you said, holding off well with everybody else on 4 tires. But again, that caution came out. They threw a manual caution with only a lap or 2. So Bad Fast still has pretty fresh tires, not as fresh as everybody else, but almost new.
He's holding his own right now. He just runs his line. They're gonna have to work pretty darn hard to get by him.
A lot of people out there, again, if you guys are watching or newer to a Heat 3, Heat 4 NASCAR racing, it's one of those things, don't race everybody else's line. Race your line. You know, race the racetrack, not the racer. And I think that's what Bad Fast is doing right now. He's making that car 4 or 5 lanes wide to hold everybody back, but he's still maintaining his own speed at the same time, like John Gerard and Talladega Nights. 4 or 5 wide, but he's still fast. As Cheese is coming to the inside in that 95 mils.
Yeah, he's cutting that dog leg, and he's cutting it hard.
That was a little too much. I think Cheese might have cut a little too much, and I'm not going to make a guts of cheese joke there.
Glad I'm not the only one whose mind went there.
32's on the inside of Chuzo right there. 2 and 3 wide up here, battling for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh place. Bad Fast still maintaining, pulls a car length. That 32 car is right there with him, though, Mills.
He is. I think he's going to make a move right here. He's going to give him a little bump, shove him up the track just a little bit. Makes move to the inside. They'll be side by side coming off the turn. Little bit of contact. That Fast does not want to give it up. Nobody's up the track.
There's a difference in completely dumping somebody and giving them that courtesy nudge, you know what I mean? And that was just that courtesy nudge. That's all that was right there. And Bad Fast is right back on his bumper. Will he repay the favor?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. That was just a little scoot.
And here comes Cheese in that 95 saying, Mr. 48, I'm right behind you, right behind him. He's got another car at that 10 of Galen. He's looking fast too. We have a great 4-car battle for the lead.
This is great. This is good. DK trying to stretch it out. Gaining just a little bit. Cheese making a move for second place here. He's to the inside of Bad Fast.
DK's been looking fast all night. Oh, Bad Fast gets just a little loose. I think he got a little courtesy nudge to help with that record the loose. But he's diving right back on the inside. Galen cuts him off in that 10 wheels. Now it's starting to get tense. These boys are coming forward. They know they got another pit stop. They want that opportunity to get up front, get into the pits, get out, and get going, Mills.
Yep. Yeah, Galen's he's looking good the further we go along here. He's up to third place now. My question is, what happened to Smoke Fan?
I don't know if it was a bad restart or a bad pit stop, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him back up there soon. Smoke's been super fast, and it looks like that's the car right behind Bad Fast. Nope, that's the 11 car. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading that wrong there. I apologize for that misinformation, Mills, but it's unfortunate to see Smoke being back there, but it's I think he can pull it back up, because I think I don't know how many laps we got left, but I think we got at least one more pit stop, so that might be his opportunity.
Oh, for sure. Meyer back in 7th place right now.
I don't know if that was on my screen a lag issue on the 10 of Galen, or if he made a mistake, but he got a little crazy right there.
Battle shaping up for the lead here. Cheese has ran DK down. And you know what? Galen is right there with him. These two get side by side.
I don't know if it's just because you and I are in the booth, or if it's because we're doing Outlaw and we've done the Giggity Racing League before at the same time. But it seems like every time we're in the booth, the last 5 laps are intense, and it happens every time when I'm with you, Mills.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw ourselves one heck of a finish here tonight, the way these guys are going at it. Here we go, side by side for the lead. Cheese to the inside.
You got a broadcast pulled up, correct, Mills?
Correct, yep.
Let's take a fan vote out there. If you guys out there in the Outlaw and Giggity Racing League who are paying attention to this, who is your pick to win? Shoot a quick shout out to Mills, and he'll give you a shout out and give you the response. But yeah, let's do a fan vote on who their pick to win is tonight, just for the fans, Mills.
All right, I will keep you posted. This battle for the lead has not quit.
Galen and Chuzo right there, that cool number 5 car, 95 car, he's right there. Galen's making the inside move on him, right behind DK in that 32. Not giving up, but backing off just enough to keep that momentum. He wants that line. You got to maintain that line.
Momentum. This is a momentum racetrack. That's what I'm reading between the lines here as we watch these guys go. Oh,
95 bumps that wall up. Usually he bumps that wall, pushes them high right there, Mills.
that was a
Galen's
fairly
gonna take advantage of
significant
it.
hit.
I don't think it was aero damage, but just enough, you know. But momentum-wise, like you said, it was a momentum tracking.
Here he comes, Galen to the inside, looking for second place, going to take it away. Side by side down the backstretch. And turn number 3, Galen drives it in hard. He's going to slide it up.
There he
got
is.
him.
I'll let you say it, baby. Come on, slider.
Slide job.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. DK is loving this battle up, though, that these guys are having behind him. This is just giving him every opportunity to race clean, race his own line in that clean air, and get up front for it.
This battle for third place. Bad Fast is pulling it back. He's going to take it away. Oh, he's going to try. Cheese is going to cross him over.
Bad Fast are still holding his own. Again, everybody, he did not pit, but because of that manual caution, he was still on, I'm assuming, with 3 times wear, anywhere from 99 to 95% tire wear, so we'll go 97, 98. He's still on just as fresh tires. These guys do have a lap or 2 newer tires, which can make a difference, but Bad Fast has been definitely holding on with that not pit strategy right there.
Cheese hard in the wall. Oh, don't hit him, look out. Oh, smoke fan just plowed him. That's going to bring out a caution for sure. For sure. That was hard contact.
I know these guys have probably talked to you before in post-race interviews, but I'm excited to pick the brains of the top 3 drivers who can make it through this, because guess what? It's not over, Mills. We've seen 5 or 6 cars all compete up front as they slow down a little bit here. But at the same time, anybody still has a chance with these cautions coming on. We are in stage 3, but I'm interested to pick their brain and see what their strategy was on this tonight, Mills.
Oh, for sure. I look forward to it as well. I still don't know who we're going to be talking to.
That's
anybody's guess.
Anybody has this. I mean, Dagger's been up front in that 42 car, and he's further back right now. Like I said, it does appear, I don't think that was a in caution. I think that was a manual caution. Let's see who does what here.
Oh, I think
these guys pull the manual cautions off so well, too. These guys pull manual cautions off so well.
Oh, they do. Even this is not easy, as you watch here, folks. Like, this is not easy to run this close together, this off pace, not floored, maintain a speed, and still keep it organized and keep it clean.
Sometimes slower is fast, you know, especially at a track like that. I would put ISM as a slower is fast track, and a lot of these guys do it so well, but they're so fast while being fast while trying to be slow, if that makes any kind of sense.
I'm with you.
Here we are. We're on pit lane. Let's see how the outcome comes. It looks like everybody's coming down, which is the smart move. I mean, again, You brought it up earlier, pre-race, you brought it up earlier in the stages. Forward phrases, small adjustments if need be. Make sure you got enough petrol to get to the end. And I think this will be our last caution, though, honestly, Mills. Unless we see a drastic car flipping situation.
Be interesting to find out.
Watching these guys race these cars on wore out tires towards the end of some of these runs, and how they can maintain and they're not sliding all over. As we see right there, the 32 of DK, I think that might have been 2 tires maybe. Oh, here we go. We got a 3-car battle. They have no control over this, but Galen and the 4 car, they're bumping each other, pulling off the in pit lane. They can't control that, but still.
So DK is going to come out of the pits with the lead, right where he left off. He's going to have the 11 Beast on his outside. And we come back to the green flag. It should be this time around.
Have we had any fan votes out there on who they think their other picks to win tonight are?
None as of yet. Come on, everybody. We want to hear from you. Or hear from you. Who's gonna
let us know that you're there. Yeah, we want your opinion, because I know Mills and I are having a blast. Let's see what you guys' opinion are. You know what? I'm gonna throw the horseshoe out there. I'm gonna say that 4 car. That 4 car. He came out. He got a great pit strategy right there. He came out. Let's see what he can do. That 4 car of Jason is looking real good. I think that's my pick to win tonight.
Galen pulling it back to the inside here. He's made up a lot of ground on DK there. Turn 1 and 2 down into turn 3. We'll see what he can do.
Looks like Smoke Fan right there. He made a 2-car pass right there. He's like, hey guys, don't rule me out yet. I'm coming for that lead. I belong up front. I've been up there before. I'm fast just like you guys. Oh, and right as I say that, 41 accidentally hits the apron, gets loose, and then the 95 Achisa gets into him, Mills, and that was just a unfortunate circumstance of that apron.
Galen to the inside for the lead.
Does not appear to bring out a caution or a manual caution.
Well, I think it did. Caution.
Did it?
Out.
Okay, there. Right as I say that, there's that broadcaster's jinx, Mills. We both said it and done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I dropped back to follow Smoke Fan to see where he was at, and he just accidentally barely touched that, got loose, and the 95 Achisa got right into him. I don't care if I'm leading or not, depending upon how many laps are left, I still want those fresh tires. I know they're right there, but this is me. That's just me. Set your car up. This is your chance to go in and set your car up for a short run, too. You know, or a shorter run than that long run.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm putting my feet up. Let's find out together, everybody. Well, looks like DK's coming. He's down below the yellow line. Everyone's going to follow suit. Give me 4.
Yep, give me 4. Let's fix damage. And now, you can't say that there's not going to be another caution, but you can bank on there not. So, again, what would you do personally, Mills? Would you keep the car as it was, or would you set it up for that 10, 15, 20 lap run towards the end?
Oh, I don't think we're quite at that point in the race yet where it's coming down to maybe setting the car up for a shorter run. But 100%, if we get close to the end and the caution comes out, I'm 100% making adjustments for the short run.
Because even on custom setups, when you make a pit, you know what your car can and can't do and how to make it better on long runs and short runs.
We got a 2-tire move there. Got a couple 2-tire moves.
2 tires could be the way to go. Strategy's always been a big portion of racing, and again, sitting in the broadcast booth has only made me better by picking up on everybody else's strategies, watching this stuff. It's changed my way of personally racing. I don't know about you, Mills, especially when you get these guys in the Outlaw Racing League, just like we have in the Giggity Racing League.
Yep.
Intense.
Buckle
Intense.
up.
Intense.
You reach up there, you pull them belts tight one more time. So 100% positive. Galen and the 31 of Rolling Duck took 2 tires there, find themselves at the front of the field. From there on back, I'm assuming everyone took 4. Maybe Bad Fast would be the only other 2-tire stop there. They're coming
obviously,
back
Mills,
to the green.
being that there's 2 of us, why don't you pay attention to the front here, and I'll follow in the back a little bit, and let's see how this pulls out. The Smoke Fan's starting in the back, but he's been one of the faster guys, so let's see how this plays out. You pay attention to the front, I'll pay attention to the back, and that way we can get a better aspect for these guys on this restart with them after that pit stop.
Sounds good.
Oh, and by the way, real quick, Smoke Fan is letting everybody know that he is not happy with what just happened. He's working his way back to the front. It appears that he's still got some damage. I don't know if he fixed it or if that's a blister in the game, but Smoke Fan is saying, hey guys, I'm coming back up. I want my spot back.
Galen's gapped himself a little bit of a lead here, back to his battle for second place. PK running second, 31 Rolling Duck in third. Side battle for fourth. That's Bulldog and Beast going at it.
does appear that we got one car that did lag out, and that was Republican. That's unfortunate. He's fast, but I'm falling back here with Jason. Jason is right there battling right next to Spokefan, and that Canth car, number 4 carbon fiber Kevin Harvick car. He took a little bit higher line. He's going to get a great drive. Let's see who cuts down. Jason takes a little bit higher line on the outside of that 48 car. He's got a great move though. He's following smoke. They're working their way to the front. They'll be right in your camera angle here, in a not too near future, Mills.
Looks like Bulldog is heading towards the front. He's getting there in a hurry. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Oh, looks like DK's going to take it. DK's got the lead. Galen trying to cross him over. I don't think he's going to have the momentum.
Oh, Jason barely touches the wall coming out of the corner. But he makes the pass on Smoke. And now he's right behind the 95 Achiza. Jason in that 4 carbon fiber car is making a move. He wants his way back up to the front too.
Bulldog has caught these 2 leaders. It's now a 3-car battle for the lead.
There is great racing all around this track like you predicted earlier because of the Outlaw Racing. These guys are phenomenal, Mills.
They are unbelievably talented.
We got Jason on the outside of the 95 Achiza. We've seen Chiza run up front, so to see the 4-car run with him, that means DK can run up front too. It's just a matter of getting there. Traffic and passing is pretty easy but difficult at the same time, if that kind of makes sense.
Bulldog in the 3 and Beast in the 11. They both got around Galen there. Galen back to 4th. Bulldog up to 2nd, side by side right now with the 11 of Beast. As DK continues to add to his lead.
Jason in that 4 car right there, Mills. He's right behind Smokefan. Smokefan in that 41 car made a great pass on him. They are working their way to the front. They'll be right with you here anytime. It's 48 and the 24 right behind them too. Yeah, it's getting intense now. It's getting hardcore. These boys are definitely putting that tall skinny pedal to the floor.
Man, I gotta breathe.
Some of these guys in pit lane, they requested a hammer from their pit crew so they could hammer a bigger hole at the bottom of that throttle pedal and make it go a little bit faster, you know, push that throttle pedal down further. Oh, as we see Jason get into the back of the 41 car on the outside, though, he bumps him and tries to make the bump around to the outside, going on the straightaway, Mills.
Crazy, crazy racing all around the racetrack. Battle going
Mills
off
gets around Smoke. Mills gets around Smoke, and he did it on the high side. I mean, Jason gets around Smoke, excuse me, Mills, on the high side.
He is coming towards the front. These guys aren't stringing out like they were earlier in the race.
I noticed that. And yeah, maybe there was a little strategy played earlier, just trying to save and conserve. And now, like I said, it's hardcore, man. It's Tommy Gunn style. Everybody wants to get as far up front as they can, just in case another caution does come out. But if it doesn't, they want every position they can get. This Outlaw League, they have some of the most elite drivers out there, and they're proving it why, you know, just like Good Goody Racing League. Just to have the opportunity to spectate, it's awesome. It really is. You just don't know how competitive online racing can be until you see something like this. So thanks for everybody out there watching. Yeah, I saw that Cheese. I was just gonna say Cheese went around on no caution.
No, I think that was a single car incident. We should stay green here. 48
What's your
on
opinion,
pit road.
Mills? What's your opinion, Mills, on that new strict caution rule? I think they need to find a happy medium because it seems like, you know, a car bumping a wall shouldn't bring out a caution, but a one-car spin should, and I don't think they've got that quite down yet. But I think they need to find a happy medium between the game caution and strict caution.
100% with you on that one, and I think, fairly certain that the 11 car, the Beast, just took the lead away from DK.
Oh, he's been looking good all night too. So it looks like he was saving something and he pounced at the last minute.
I think so. So the 11 coming on at the end of the race.
How many laps do we have left, Bills?
I do not know. I was trying to follow along with Bulldog's live stream, but it's not connecting for whatever reason. So unfortunately, I don't have a lap count.
Unfortunately for Chiza, though, he's back here by himself with heavy damage on the front end side of his car, and Chiza in that 95 car was looking strong all night. Bad place at the wrong time for him, and that's unfortunate. Chiza was looking fast tonight.
He sure was. Ooh, DK, he's reeling that 11 car back in. And he got off turn 2 good there. He's going to throw it to the inside. Here we go again.
Dagger in that 42 was another one we mentioned quite a few times, and he appears to be off the pace a little bit. Another unfortunate circumstances. I'm watching Galen in the 10. He's trying to get back up front as he's battling with Bulldog in that 3, right behind the Smoke of 41, who has made his way from back of the pack. Smoke has always wanted to be watched, and he's not letting know why.
And big shout out to this 42 that we ride along with right now. As he's driving the race car, folks, he's giving me updates on lap count.
That's
so
impressive.
We are at 29 laps to go right now. So huge shout out to Dagger. Thanks, man.
I was just going to say, I think that's Dagger in 42. That's awesome. Just like another driver that I race with, his name's Alex Ned. If you've ever had an opportunity to race with him, he can pull and he can announce an entire race from his rear view mirror while beating you, and he does it so well. But as we get back up to this 4-way car lead for the battle for the lead there, Bills.
And DK is back out front. He got back around the 11. The 11's dropped back a little bit, but look who's in second. Smoke Fan. Finding his way back to the front. What a journey it's been for him.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been a long distance trip. He needed a passport to go from where he was at to where he's at now, and he's doing a great job. That's another quality driver we see all the time. Look at him go too. Oh, there's the 4 car. Oh, we can see 10. We see the 10 car. I'm on board with 10 of Galen going into the pits. I see the 3 of Bulldog going into the pits. There's one more car behind him. The 24 car appears to be going to the pits. We could possibly be seeing our last green flag stage laps race pit stops here, Mills.
I think we're going to see one more stop after this one to make it to the end. And here we go for the lead.
Yeah. At 3 times, you are correct. I apologize, folks, for everybody out there paying attention. DK Sports lead, but look who's on his bumper, Mills. I was just going to say, if he had a song playing in his head, it would be that theme song right there.
Side by side going into turn number 1. Oh, man, Smoke Fan drove it in hard. DK tried to diamond it, and he got into the side of Smoke Fan. Smoke Fan to the lead. DK falls back about 2 car lengths.
It doesn't take much bumping to lose a little bit of momentum, but at the same time, they can gain it back within a lap or 2. But with these new green flag stops coming up, let's see how that pans out for everybody, Mills.
And you got to be careful here. You can't give these guys too much time on fresh tires. They'll chew any margin up in a pretty big hurry. So DK
but
to
3
pit
times
road.
tire wear, like you said. Is it a benefit for you to pit early, or do you want to pit as late as possible so you have the freshest possible tires at the end of the race?
Here, I'd rather pit early. Because you're talking fall-offs between half a second to 6/10 a lap through the duration of a run with your tires going away. So, I mean, 6/10 of a second a lap is a lot.
That's an eternity.
It is. So, I'm one of those guys who I want to be one of the first to hit pit road, get that advantage, and you know, try and hold my own afterwards. Smoke Fan, our leader on pit road.
DK appears to be coming back out. And these guys pull off green flag pit stops so smoothly. They can pull out and not hit anybody. Obviously, like you said, a huge thing being communication, but it's you see people who communicate and say, "Hey, I'm coming out," and other people they just don't give a darn and they just drive right into you.
Mm-hmm. Smoke Fan coming out of the pits. See how it's all going to cycle around. Ooh, it looks like he lost a fair amount. Yeah, he's definitely got some work to do. And that will cycle the 48 of Bad Fast back around to lead. He's got Galen on his bumper in second, and Bulldog in the 3-car running third.
48 of Bad Fast, he composed himself very well out front. You could tell it wasn't his first time up there, especially when he was on only 2 or 3 lap old tires. But still,
Bulldog
he
making a move for
himself
second.
well.
Oh, he's going for the lead. Contact between 1 to 2 positions. Galen's going to clear Bad Fast for second.
Following DK Brown, he looks like he's trying to take any advantage he can get from those guys making mistakes in front of him. And as he goes to the inside of the 10 of Galen, backs off, make good, smart moves. He's going to get that drive. Looks like he's going to pull the inside of Galen, though, Bills.
He is. And turn number 3, Bulldog still got the lead. The battles for second, side by side. Good battle.
DK makes the move. Can he make it stick? Yes, it appears to be. No, he's still half a car short, but he's on the inside of Bulldog at the same time. We have DK, Bulldog, and Galen all up front here.
DK is looking for that lead. Oh, he's to the inside. Bulldog pinches him down. Oh, he stays clear by inches. Inches might be an exaggeration, folks. That was close.
We talk about not wanting to drive out of your rearview mirror, but in a circumstance like this, you're going to have to drive as out of that rearview mirror to protect your position as much as possible. And wow, that was a great example of it. Look at him go.
He's got it. He's cleared Bulldog. He's checking out. Take that mirror and point it at the floor. Don't even look at it.
Exactly, that's exactly it. Just maintain yourself, and we'll bring something up. We talked in pre-race meals. Rhythm. Maintain your rhythm, not everybody else's. Rhythm is a huge factor. It's just like dancing.
Get yourself in the zone. Stay focused.
And he's pulling cars already.
He is.
It's so hard, though. You want to know where the people are behind you because you do not want to get at anybody. You want to have that courtesy. But once you know that you're at least a car and a half in front of everybody, that's when you want to say, okay, it's me, on me, on me. You know, you know you're clear, and go. Let's see if DK Brown can do that. And he looks here in that Ford Mustang 32. Looks like he's doing a good job of it.
As he's doing that, Smoke Fan making a move for second place to the inside of Bulldog here. They touch just a little bit, and he's clear. Smoke Fan up to second. I think we know where he just set his sights.
Anybody out there on the paying attention? How many laps? Let's take a vote. How many laps does it take for Smoke Fan to try to reel in DK if he can? Let's see what you guys' thoughts are on this because DK's been fast all night. I mean, and so is Smoke.
Very talented drivers getting ready to duke it out here. It's gonna be a good finish.
We always bring that broadcaster jinx up, but broadcaster jinx with you and me is nothing but inches at the finish line finishes. Let's see if let's see if we can bring that jinx to this race because it appears that it will be.
It's setting up to be it for sure. DK, I mean, he's just got to be smooth here. He's got to hit his marks, stay focused. Smoke Fan's had the dominant car all night. Well, maybe not the dominant, but he's definitely had the fastest car all night. Now he's just got to be smooth. A little bit of a leap to work with.
But with DK, though, you think the benefits in his factor right now, he can save, whether it be tires or fuel or whatever he needs to, where he's going to have to make Smoke Fan drive his rear end off, as we see DK get a little loose off that corner right there. He's going to make the Smoke Fan drive that car harder. Will that be a benefactor at the end?
I think so. You can make the guy behind you use their stuff up trying to catch you, and then you turn it up when they get to you. It can make it real difficult for somebody to get around you. That gap is staying pretty consistent between DK and Smoke Fan. He's doing what he needs to do.
Could that be a little strategy on Smoke, trying to save and then make a last 10 to 8 lap run?
I don't know. As a driver, I don't start playing that game until I'm on the guy's back bumper, but then again, I'm not in the Outlaw Racing League. These guys are in this league because they know what they're doing. He might be doing that. On the other hand, DK's car looks good.
There has to be mind games being played, though. There has to be mind games being played.
I can imagine people are probably trying to decide what to do on this last pit stop. It's not going to be a full run on tires and fuel, so you might see some gas and goes. Doubt it, but you might see some two tire stops. Excuse me.
Depending upon how many laps are left, though, I don't know if I want 4 freshers as much as I do. I always want 4, but if I was in the leader's position, I would definitely want some right side traction, though.
That should be 9 laps to go there at the line, guys. So it is coming down to it.
9 to go. DK out front. Smoke Fan trying to chase him down.
E8.
Nothing but superb racing, mutual respect, great opportunities to watch these guys race tonight. I'd never seen manual cautions pulled off so well, and I haven't seen inch-to-inch racing like this except for Angry Racing League.
These guys are so talented. It's unbelievable.
It's like they should almost get paid.
5 to go. Oh, sorry, we're a little bit behind the times. It should be 4 to go.
And it appears that Smoke is closing in, though, from my angle.
Oh, DK gets the wall a little bit. But yeah, you're right. Smoke is closing that gap. He's coming. DK just got to keep himself composed here. I think the nerves are playing a little bit of a game with him. Smoke closes in again. 3 to go this time by.
Normally I wouldn't do it like this, but I am going to go behind or over the hood view with Smoke just to see how this pulls off. He pulls in 1, 2, almost, he pulls in within 1 car right there, because that yellow line, Mills, falling over the hood of Smoke right now. Bless you. As we see, can DK hold on? Smoke drives it in hard again, Mills. Gains another half a car on him. There's a 2 to go. There it is. There it is, right there. You could barely put a paper between them right now. Can Smoke pull this off? Is he going to put the bumper to him?
Here we
you
go.
know DK's getting a little excited. DK's to the outside, Smoke to the inside. It's a drag race going into turn 1.
Down the backstretch. Coming to the white flag.
We're talking about.
Oh, DK drove it in. Whoa.
Wow.
Look at
Over the hood view.
White flag.
Over the hood view of Smoke. Seeing DK drive that thing in. Holy baloney, looks like she's got him cleared, but he drove that thing in harder than an ice cube into a hot water tank. Here we go, guys. Smoke's gonna come down, and Smoke Fan appears, unless DK can pull another one of those moves off. Smoke Fan made a great run, and Smoke Fan will take the checkered flag. I cannot wait to hear that. I want to hear what DK's point of view of that was. Holy cow, the Outlaw Racing Mills.
That was crazy. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. We might have 1 more lap to go here. Yeah, definitely on the last lap right now. Hard to do over live chat, but we got you close. And holy cow, what a finish! Smoke fan off turn 4. He's gonna collect the checker flag, take the victory here at ISM
definitely be
Racing.
doing burnouts, but DK gets so much respect. He drove that thing in a oh wow! If he could have made that thing stick.
Good race.
We'll wait for our live update to come up right now, but we definitely know Smoke Fan, DK, you're first and second. Great opportunity. I can't wait to talk to them in post-race. My goodness, Mills. Why is it that I think everybody says cautions breed cautions? I think Mills and Puddin breed great racing. That was super intense.
That was crazy. We are going to go blue screen for just a second so I can send a quick invite. We will be right back.
The booth with you guys. I do normally broadcast for the Giggity Racing League, but thanks for the Outlaw Racing guys for having me in today.
Absolutely, glad you could be along. Glad you could be along.
And if I get any opportunity to do this again, I would be more than happy to with that kind of stuff. Holy cow. So many great racers, so many names. We've seen so many names up front all night. You know, we saw Dagger, we saw Bulldog, obviously DK. There's so many people. There's our race winner, Smoke Fan. Smoke Fan, my name is Puddin. Thanks for having me in. I broadcast tonight with Mills. I normally broadcast with Giggity Racing League. How did you pull that off, my man?
I mean, car was a rocket. I didn't even touch it all week. It's the same setup I dominated the Pro League race. Just left it, didn't touch it, didn't make no laps, came in, and car was strong. I fell back there for a little while, and that's because I was trying to save tires for that later in the run so I could come back up through there, and we were able to get us another W.
There you go, and Puddin, you called it. He was saving his tires a little bit. But man, Smoke, what a finish, man. That was some exciting stuff there. 3-4 laps to go, you and DK duking it out.
Yeah, I got a little worried there. With about 5 laps to go, I went down. That last stop, I went up half around on wedge because 22 laps is kind of stretching it. So I just wanted to make sure my tires would hold up. And I noticed he wasn't really he wasn't falling back to me. And all of a sudden, it was about 5 laps to go, I started running him down like 2 or 3 tenths a lap. And that's when I was like, all right.
I was following you, Smoke, and Mills was following DK. And going into what used to be turn 1 or turn 4, now right before that start-finish line, DK drove that thing in so hard on the outside. Mills and I were going excited.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts when you saw more than half a car out front of you just for a split second driving into that corner if he made that stick?
Oh, I knew he was going to drive it in deep. Going down the straightaway, I actually let out on purpose so he could get a run on the outside of me, because I knew if he did on the exit he would push up real bad. So when I knew as soon as he had me by half a car length going in, I was going to be able to clear him on the exit. And we were able to set sails in.
Well, thanks again for having me in, man. This is Puddin again, and let Mills got a couple questions. I enjoyed it, man. The Outlaw Racing League. You know, thanks for having me in, especially with K Teddy from the K Teddy Racing or for Giggity Racing League. There's you guys are absolutely amazing. I was on the seat of my couch with Mills all night, and that was a great race, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all doing this again. Y'all help out a bunch, and we wouldn't be able to do this without y'all.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure, man. We love doing it, especially when we get to watch racing like that. You know, that was absolutely excellent.
We were able to put us on to y'all.
Some really close quarters racing.
For you. Yeah, that was great racing. I was falling over your hood for the last couple laps as Mills was DK watching him. I saw hood damage. Were you damaged, or was that just a glitch in the game?
I had damage early on in the race, and it was actually fixed. it was back to 100%. It just didn't show it on screen.
That's what I was curious about. That was it. Thanks again, Smoke. I appreciate it, man, and congratulations. One hell of a race, my man.
Appreciate it, boys.
Hey, Smoke, before you take off, bud, do you think you'd be able to shoot DK and I believe Beast finished third? Are you able to shoot them an invite, get in here?
Yep. They're alright. I suggested them to y'all.
Okay, we're going to go blue screen for 1 second here, folks.
Broadcasting with the GRL, the Giddy Racing League, and then to watch you guys too, man. Absolute blast. I have more fun broadcasting races like that than I actually do participating. So thanks for having me again. Mill's one of the good guys I've broadcast with before. Couldn't have a better guy to ask with me, man. Holy cow, it's intense.
Yeah, tell me about it. Again, before y'all continue on with this, I want to give Toco Warranty and fan4racing a shout out too for coming on board and helping us promote and all that good stuff. So appreciate them, appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Well, with racer rates like that, that's no reason they want to be a participant and sponsor of that. Thanks for joining the Outlaw Racing League, guys.
All right, and now we are joined in the booth by our second place finisher, DK. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing pretty good. How's everything going?
Oh, man, we're doing good. We're still winding down after that finish.
Oh, yeah, my car just went away there in them last 3 laps.
Close, but no cigar, buddy.
Yeah, it's a fun race, man, but congrats to Smoke. He ran me down. My tires just went away.
You know, Puddin' and I were following along with you. We watched you dive it in there with 2 laps to go on the outside, trying to hang on to the lead. Oh man, it was so close. Take us through the last 3-4 laps there. What was going through your mind?
Well, I thought I had a big enough lead to where I could just coast it, but he gained on me pretty quick and then gave me the bumper there. I think coming into turn 1. And I knew once he got around me, I wasn't going to be able to do nothing because I was riding in 4th gear trying to save that rear tire. Trying to keep it from blowing. But all in all, good race. Another 2nd place finish. But we'll get a win soon.
You definitely always want to see that black and white to be the first car there. You could definitely not hang your head too low, man. You got to hang it high when you finish on the box. Especially at ISM, with the quality of drivers and everybody that drives an Outlaw. DK, we watched you all night, and especially that pass, the attempted pass on the outside, like Mills said. Smoke had a great car. You were really dominant for a long time in that long runs. Do you think you just used your car up a little too much trying to hold him off, or were you trying to bait him in a little bit?
I ran it too hard there. After that last pit stop, I ran it too hard. I was trying to build a lead, and it stayed there for a while. It stayed about a second and a half, and once them tires go, it went away quick. It got loose, and that was all she wrote. You know, which Smoke had the fastest car all night, pretty much. He got stuck back there in traffic there after that last stage, but hey, we lit a bunch of laps, so I'm happy about that and happy to bring it home 2nd again.
Absolutely. Well, it was fun watching you race out there, and awesome car out there, DK, and close but no cigar, buddy. But all you can do is put the visor down and head to the next track.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on your top 2 finish tonight, man.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all for calling a race and everything y'all do, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, it was a blast. All right, and we got our 3rd place finisher up in the booth with us now, Beast, 11 car. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Good, man. Well, take us through your run tonight. How'd your race go?
It was pretty. Yeah, I'm on loud. My voice was pretty eventful. A couple times made some poor adjustments. Started off too tight, faded to the back. Had a lot of good side-by-side racing, working my way through the pack. That last caution, I didn't loosen it up, or I didn't tighten it up. I'm sorry, I didn't tighten it up enough. So I was saving my right rear as well, 4th gear. And I don't know if you guys could see it on the stream, but when I was going down the backstretch, or at least in your broadcast, when I was going to the backstretch, I was at 1%, and I blew my tire entering into the last turns 3 and 4, and like I just sent it. I knew it was gonna blow, and it blew at the right time to where I had the car yawed out, and I just passed Jason coming to the finish line to get 3rd. So that was pretty eventful. It was fun. Gladly, it was a right rear too. I know sometimes you get a right front, or depending on how close you are to the wall, I just sent it. I just threw it into 3 and 4, got it yawed out, and luckily it blew as I was yawed out, and got a 3rd place finish. I think I had about a 3rd place car. You know, DK and Smoke seemed like they were pretty stout, and I knew I had a good car. I actually helped Smoke, believe it or not, with his ISM setup for the Pro League, and he can attest to that. I mean, we spent so much time building it. We put like 60 hours into that car.
Hey man,
don't
be telling them our secrets, Beast.
What's that?
Be telling them the secrets, Beast.
It's not a secret. What we're trying to say is Outlaw as a whole, we share, we build together, we all have our communications like constantly. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of heads going into what we're building here at Outlaw, and it's like, in a way, it's kind of like the land of the misfit toys, you know? Like, there's a lot of fast guys here. Me, Bulldog, DK, obviously, and Smokey, you know those guys are quick, but there's a lot of other guys here that they have that speed. You know, Chase is great, you know, Galen's great. They're fast, they're aggressive. We're all side by side, you know, you're door to door. It's pretty fun, really is.
Real quick, Beats, this is Puddin'. Thanks for having me broadcast, and I normally get broadcast with the Gaiety Racing League. Watching you guys race, Mills and I were talking throughout the broadcast on a custom setup. You just brought it up, 60 hours to help. How much time or how long does it take to dial in one specific custom car for one specific track for you guys? Because obviously it takes a lot of time and intensity, but to race in the caliber level of Outlaw Racing, how long does it take to make a custom setup for you guys? Because man, you guys all proved it tonight.
As soon as this race weekend, like this is like our weekend basically, as soon as we're done, like I know I do work on the next track starting like the next week, and once we get to the weekend and Monday, everybody's in like running races with each other, because we know like if you can't be a 10th off at Outlaw and expect to do good. You can't be a 10th off. If you're a 10th off, you might as well not even pull it off the truck. Like honestly, it's how everybody is, and people are even smart at knowing what to adjust on the car as it fades into the race, and depending on how long that last run is. Because I've been running since Daytona. I missed the Vegas race. I actually have a torn rotator cuff, but it's not full torn, but it's partially. So I missed Vegas, and like Iowa, like I missed a setup on Iowa. I was maybe a click off a wedge and like a tire pressure adjustment, and that cost me the race. Like I had a good short run car. I had it at the end, and Smoke just adjusts way better. That's what lost me the race.
I'm going to give Mills the next. I just have one more question for you again. How many people in Outlaw, again, since I've only broadcasted with Giggity for the last month or so, how many in Outlaw are wheels and how many are on controller? I'm assuming majority would be on a wheel, right?
Yeah, I'm on a wheel. I think DK, Chase, and Bulldog, are you the only guys on? Are you? Is Bulldog on a wheel? Yeah, I think so. I think we're predominantly wheel, actually.
But still, for those guys to be on a controller and show the talent they have with you guys, that's why they're there too. Thanks for having me again. Thanks for having me, because you guys put on one of the better races I've seen, other than the GRL. I had so much fun watching you. I learned a lot from you guys tonight. Thanks again for Mills for having me. K-Tatty, Smoke, everybody. Congratulations to our top three. I'm going to let Mills take it over from here, but Beast, DK, Smoke, you guys are awesome. Everybody else, great racing at a very tricky track that we talked about in pre-race.
Alrighty, thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. It's always a pleasure to watch you guys race and to call the race for you. I have more fun in the booth than I would in the car, I can promise you that. And yeah, hoping you'll have us back for the next one and we can call it for you again.
Yes, sir. We'd love to have you all back, definitely.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Alrighty, well, we're going to conclude the broadcast, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and tune in next time in the Outlaw Racing League.